Alright, how's it going, guys? Back with another video. I'm going to try to start doing these a little more regularly again. Hopefully you guys didn't miss me too much. But we're just going to go over the SPY today, and we're going to go over a couple trade ideas that could be setting up. You can see I'm using a different charting platform now. This is TrendSpider. They're a subscription, but I really like them, and still execute with Thinkorswim, but I really like what TrendSpider can do, especially these anchored VWAPs right here. I'll kind of explain what I'm looking at with SPY using those. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough time to trade right now, guys, with the election coming up. A really volatile year, and I think we should expect this volatility to continue and potentially even get worse in the coming weeks. What I'm looking at here on SPY right now, I know a lot of people want to try to call bottoms. A lot of people are getting really bearish. I think everybody just needs to relax and look at what it's saying right now. And so right now, to me, we're at a really critical area here. What I've done here is I put a volume indicator by price right here. And so looking at that, we can see the most volume has been done right here. And I also marked these VWAPs from the date of the breakout, basically, that sent SPY bullish. Right here, nobody really knew. People were still really bearish. Boom, this pushed us into bullish territory. We went up. So this is important to me, is what is the average price paid since those dates. And we're also right there, guys. Call it 319, 320, basically where we've been bottoming each day. So I'm keeping my eyes open for reversal, but it's just not confirmed to me yet. And I almost think we could get a lot of chop in this zone for a little bit. It's possible. We're going to move it down to a 30-minute chart. And so this is kind of where I look for what I'm looking for on the daily chart. Okay, this is a big area of support. Maybe we could reverse. And so I come down here to a smaller chart. And what I want to look for is this is a 5-day moving average right here. So if you look at the 5-day moving average, this it's still really downsloping. We got above it a little bit here. I was actually long in here a little bit on some certain names, and took some profit on them and then got stopped out. And that's where I am. I took some more down here, took profit up here on different names, and boom, got stopped out again, and here we are. So I just want to make this to put it in everybody's head that this market is nowhere near being bullish, and we shouldn't think that there's going to be a bottom just because, right, we've got some buying down here. Maybe it will be, but we don't know that yet, right? We can see from the last major peak, the volume weighted price. I mean, look at this. It can't even touch it. Every time it touches it, it's major supply. And so I think at least until we get back above this, and then maybe this moving average curls up right here, and we start consolidating nicely, maybe then you go for a long trade up to a gap fill up here at 338. 338, 340, that's kind of where we really need to be holding above to have any chance of really, going hard up to the highs. And that's a long ways away. If we do get a solid break on volume through, call it 319 to 320, even 321, if we really start breaking through there on volume in the morning, or if we gap underneath that 320, 321 area, you really got to watch out. Because this point of control, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be support. It just means that this is where the most volume is done. And so price is going to tend to be a magnet to that initially. Eventually, maybe it comes even lower. Maybe it comes down here to 310. Maybe it comes down here. This is the average weighted price from the March low here. This is the average price paid, is right around 300, and that's going to keep moving up a little bit. But maybe we come down to the 300s, right? Who are we to say if we can or can't? We don't know. So those are some other areas to watch. The 200, day moving averages right here at 310 where the support is, so that would kind of be our next area of interest, in and around 310. But guys, I'd say remain cautious, remain bearish until, you don't have to be short, but be ready to be short, because that's kind of the side to be on right now, guys. And if we can get back up here, and I think it'll start closing back above these lows here, 329, 330. If we start closing back up here, get above this volume weighted average price, and this starts curling up, guys, that's what's going to give us a shot. Okay, so hopefully you guys have both sides through that. You can see what I'm talking about. It's not the time to be overly confident in your bias. It's really not. Just go with the flow of the market, all right, because it's going to be probably a tough day tomorrow and a tough week ahead of us to read. And so just stay nimble, guys. Real quick, I want to look at Apple. Give me a sec here. I want to look at Apple. And so this one's it's a potential long watch if the market does start to kind of heal itself and maybe we work our way back up to 340, 345. It's totally possible. If that happens, I really like Apple as a long setup, mainly because of how far it's fallen. Right, it's fallen in what is this, like, I want to say 10, 12, 15%, not sure exactly, but that's pretty far for Apple. And then there's another reason I'm watching this is because we're in this really nice channel. It's a really good structure, and typically when you break out of something like that, there's a good chance of it at least going back to where that channel started, and often higher. Maybe they come fill this gap or higher. Who knows how strong of an uptrend it might get in, but it's just something on watch for me, guys. I like how this 50-day moving average has really started to wean down and get flat here. And second of all, we put in this higher low here. And so what I want to see on Apple, if this is going to go bullish, I like this consolidation here. And what I want to see is just take these, give me one sec here. Take these lows right in here, call it somewhere in there. I think what we need is a breakout of this channel, preferably on volume. And then what we want to see is it closing up here and then holding this zone. So we want to see it basically being a fake breakdown, holding back above this major support, which was really the major support from the high. If we see a close back in here and the next day it's kind of holding on smaller time frames and it looks ready to go, I think Apple's a major long there. I think you get good risk reward up to at least here, somewhere in here, 120, 125. And if not, you're looking up in there, 130, guys. So I think it's a great setup. And, it's a big if, but it's showing signs, guys. So just keep an eye on that break over, call it 110, 111, okay? And preferably that daily close in there and then holding it. All right. That's kind of my main setup. I'll just show you guys another, because I really thought this one was good. On Boeing, it already happened, but this is another type of setup. This is what I look for. The market's kind of weak, and so if you're going to short a stock, guys, short something like Boeing. Short something that's incredibly weak. Boeing just happens to be a nice big name. It's got options that are liquid, and it's a really, really good short. It was a good short, at least. You can see it's below the volume weighted average price from this major March low, and it's got a huge declining 200-day, and it's below all other moving averages. You can see from this peak, it has not been able to even get close to getting above that volume weighted average price. It's been purely sold and sold and sold. And if we go down to a 30-minute, Let's see, this average price is at 165 about. And so it cuts through 165 here. And then what you see here is the pattern, is what really caught my eye. You get a nice bear flag pattern, right? And so here you kind of had a different structure, whereas you came down here pretty fast from pretty high, and they were below 165, but right here you can see it start to recover, break downtrend. It gets back above here, this moving average here, and that's kind of where things turn bullish for the intermediate term. But here it starts flagging, and you can see that it's rejecting with really long wicks. That's typically a really good signal that it's going further. So from the recent peak, it's just, look at those wicks, just straight back down and lots of supply there. And the market was kind of unstable at this point as well. And then boom, here's your break, and you go short. And I mean, that's really good risk reward, right? Even if you're playing options, you could play a week out, maybe 2 weeks out, because it's a momentum type of move. And so this is something that I would look for in Apple if that does start to develop. All right, that's going to be it. Hopefully I'll do a weekend update. I am going to be pretty busy, but I will try my best to do a weekend update. I want to get doing these regularly again because I think they're helpful, and I hope you guys find them helpful too. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. All right, peace.